when I was a kid, I always thought like skaters were like cool as shit, of course. But I also was someone who was incredibly sensory seeking and with very limited resources. See, some people in this life require a certain level of pain in order to function. And oftentimes, these kinds of people, without proper support, are more prone to drug use, which I eventually got wrapped up in my teen years, and a lot of drinking, just honestly throughout most of my life since I was like 12. But typically people go to substances to mask the need for pain, or the pain that our body's naturally producing, or the negative coping skills that produce, unhelpful pain. And I remember when I was going through NA meetings with my mom fresh out of high school, going to church, celebrate recovery, and just trying to be like, how am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to do this life? I don't sleep at night. I don't really love myself that much, and part of me is so hurt internally. I've always self-soothed by punching myself in the face or throwing my head through the wall. Like my self-harm looked different than like a lot of my friends who would cut. I would do these like blunt pains and wear them on my face, on my skin for weeks. And people thought I was crazy. So it's like, if everyone already thinks I'm crazy and everyone already knows I'm an addict, where the fuck am I supposed to go from here? Where am I supposed to go when I'm angry? Where am I supposed to go when I feel like I deserve to be punished and, just hate myself or want to run away? And where am I supposed to go when I need to learn how to fall down again? I've been too comfortable. I've been too shy. I've been too timid. Where am I supposed to go? And I found that skateboarding was that for me. I've always been a terrible skater. I was always scared of being called a poser or whatever, so I just stayed the fuck away from people and just did it for me. My legs, anytime I'd see those bruises up and down my shins or falling down and getting a scrape on my shoulder, I always saw it as a productive pain. A mark that I fell down and I couldn't control when it happened, but I got back up and I kept going. And that just kind of showed me a lot about life. And you really don't know how these choices can impact you, because I eventually met my today husband. I was working at the grocery store, and he thought I was cute and everything, but it wasn't until he saw me skating through his backyard later that same day, and he saw me just bombing hills on my skateboard and whatever, all that embarrassment of, oh, I'm a poser, I'm all this, I'm all that. That's all shit I was telling myself. This man fell in love with me when he saw that side of me. Just free, listening to music, going down the hills, and occasionally fumbling a pop shove it. And eventually life with him led to me getting more confident pursuing music. At the time when he met me, I was a street performer that would only really rock out if someone else was playing guitar, because I didn't play any instruments. I was just a really obnoxious poet. And you don't know. One choice to just not give up on yourself, whatever it looks like. Do what you need to do. Some of us are not born to be able to sit still. Some of us are not made to be able to handle a painless life. It's too understimulating. But just make sure that if you're picking a pain, it's one you do out of love for yourself, not out of hate. Because you can hit your shins a million times. You can fall down 30 times back to back to back. But when you finally land what you're going for, there it is. Something created of all that pain. That physical pain of falling down and getting back up says a lot about the emotional pain you must be going through to endure it. And also the level of love, the intensity of your love to stand beside this skate deck that fucking hurts you, man. It teaches resilience. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter if other people think anything of you, dude. just do what you need to do to take care of yourself. And if that's doing something you find to be childlike or fun, like dancing or painting or any fucking thing, do it, dude. You know, it's a short ride. We are reminded of that far too often. Do the weird shit, man. Be kind to yourself and maybe get the fuck outside. Remember when they used to say, get out and play for an hour a day? Why did that have to change once we grew up, dude? Don't forget about that. Your inner child needs time out there too. You got people you need to meet. You're too powerful to be isolated all the fucking time. You can serve your community just by showing up and being the weird person who moves in the weird way. Because when you go against the grain, you get people to think different without even speaking to them. If you're totally nonverbal, still do the weird fucking thing, because you're still serving people by changing minds just by how you communicate. Anyway, express yourself, dude. You're needed. Even if you don't express yourself, your resentment will show.
I'd rather be embarrassed than bored.